I love a good backstory. I met John Minigan in the fall of 2013. I had put out a call on the official Playwrights of Facebook page. I'm Miranda Jonte. I'm an actor who started writing for herself as a playwright and then by default became a producer. So I produce all of my own stuff and I was looking for new stuff. How's it going? I posted on the official Playwrights of Facebook page, "Hi everyone, I'm looking for a two-hander." That means a two-person play. Do you have any suggestions? Preferably something not done to death, not 30 years old, not Danny in the Deep Blue Sea, although Shanley's amazing, but how about fresh things? What I didn't realize is that all of the playwrights would say, I've got something, let me send it to you. I said, oh, sure, send it my way. And I read all of them. And the one that stood out was from a guy named John Minigan in Framingham, Massachusetts. And he said, hey, I have something that fits, it sounds, what you might be looking for. Here's my website. The first 10 pages are on it. And I remember I was on the LIRR leaving Pleasantville, which is upstate New York, upstate. And I read the first 10 pages and it was, "Hi John, this is Miranda Jonte. Can I read the rest?" I remember getting goosebumps and just going, holy shit, this is dangerous. And I'm only 10 pages in. He sent it to me and it just, I knew in my bones. And I wanted everything to be super above board, so I contacted him and said, "Hi, do I have your permission to send it to my director?" And he's like, "Yes." I sent it to my director and I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I got a one-word email back from my director and it was, in caps, "Yes." And as soon as I got that, it was, "Okay, go." And I remember starting this email correspondence with John, and it was just this back and forth about the play and about his writing and about his process, and we just really clicked. And it was Valentine's Day, 2014, and I was sitting in a church watching a slew of 10-minute plays based on love and hope. And I was sitting in this church with my then boyfriend, and it struck me like a thunderbolt. You're going to take this two-person play to Chicago and get your equity card. You're going to rehearse for a week and perform for a week. And after the one acts, I went up to my director, Stephen Brodebeck, and said, "I have an idea. Congratulations, and I'll run it by you on a night where it's not your night to shine." He said, "No, tell me now." So I did, and he said, "That's a great idea." And we took it to Chicago, and I had submitted it to the Fringe Festival here in New York. And I had written John and said, "Do I have your permission to submit it to the New York Fringe?" "Yes!" He's probably thinking, "You're wasting time by trying to be so above board, just do it." He said, "I always thought it would be good for a Fringe Festival." And right before we left for Chicago, I got the email that I had gotten into Fringe, and I called John for the very first time. We had never talked on the phone, we had only emailed. And he sounded, hello? I said, "Hi John, it's Miranda." "Hi Miranda." I said, "John, we got into Fringe." And for the last, it was a sold out run at Fringe, rave reviews, breaking the Shakespeare Code. And over the last, going on 5 years, we have produced at Lincoln Center, It's the Jews, and what is it, a Dateless Bargain with Impending Dick, at the Sam French OOB Fest. I produced The Maltese Walter, a 10-minute short of his, and he had said, "I'll submit this and I would love to put your name on it, but only if you agree to play the lead." Like, sure, be in one of your plays. And at the same time, my play St. Francis had gotten into the Fringe Festival in 2015. So I was producing 2 shows at once and starring in 2 shows. And I remember calling the director, who said, "Yes, ask John." And then I called John and said, "John, I can't do both well. May I replace myself in your show? And he said yes. And we ended up with this lovely vamp actress who was perfect for it. The audience loved it. It brought the house down. And then the next year, we produced and I directed his Easter at the Entree Gold. And what I love about him, what I love about John, is that he's so eager to guide you through his work if you have questions. And he sits in the rehearsal room and he makes notes, and he never gives them to you unless you turn to him and you go, I have a question about, and then he's already written it down and he gives it to you. Working with him has been one of the highlights of my life. And when I said to him, I want to do Breaking the Shakespeare Code again in New York with the same cast and the same director, I call us Murderer's Row because it was so well received. And we had so much fun. He said, yes. He's sent me short plays of his that have yet to be more developed, or plays that he's thinking of submitting to festivals. And I can't tell you what a responsibility and what an honor it is to be brought in behind the curtain into the writer's room with someone whom I respect so much. It's such a treat. And the fact that he wants us to keep doing and lets us keep doing his plays, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. So this is a very long way of saying, getting to do Breaking the Shakespeare Code again, returning to it as an actor, I began reading it yesterday again on the train, on the subway. And just reading that first act scared me and enthralled me so much as an actor. And it's a piece that I've already done before twice, which is a testament to the writing, a testament to the storytelling. And he writes women so well. I've read a lot of plays. I've written a lot of plays. I write really well for myself as an actor. He writes better for me as an actor than I write for me. We're very, very lucky to have John Minigan in the playwriting world. And I hope that you will look at Breaking the Shakespeare Code. I hope that you'll come see it. Thank you so much, and happy Sunday.